Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Minnesota Real Estate Show. Thanks for joining us. October the 28th, 2023, and we are live here at News Talk 830 WCCO every Saturday morning for the Minnesota Real Estate Show. It's hosted by our friend, Mr. Mike Overson of Luminate Home Loans, Scott Wolmering, and myself, Ryan O'Neill of the Minnesota Real Estate Team and REMAX Advantage Plus. Excited to be here in studio today. We've got Adam Hartung, Midwest Money Management, in studio with us today. A lot to talk about with the market. Should be a great show. It's interactive. Welcome your questions, comments, thoughts. Again, we're on WCCO 830 now, and happy to be here. Scott, Adam, good to see you guys.
Yeah, good to be here this morning, Ryan.
Yeah, good to be here. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Like Ryan said, this is the Minnesota Real Estate Show. We're going to go live here pretty quick, and we're going to talk about what's kind of going on right now, what's going to go on, we think, wrapping up the end of the year, and then what we potentially can look at coming into the spring market. If you've not checked out our website before, it's mnrealestateshow.com. You can find out everything about the team, how everything works, and check us out.
Yeah, again, thank you for joining us. A lot to talk about. Adam with Midwest Money Management is hiring. We're going to be talking about that in a little bit. You're hiring for a new person. So friends, family, anyone in your neighborhood you might know. Adam's going to be talking a little bit about that position with Midwest Money Management, a great opportunity for folks. And a lot to talk about with the market. We've got some great numbers to share as well. And Scott, you got your coffee.
Got my coffee ready to go. Kind of excited about this weekend. It's the Green Bay Minnesota game, and them coming off beating San Francisco was pretty fun. So got a opportunity to go 4-4 and maybe salvage the season.
Yeah, we got Vikings this weekend. We've got cold weather. The cold has hit us. If you are out of state and somewhere else watching us, Minnesota, the winter has arrived. It feels like we're in the 30s today. We're all bundled up. Adam, you're all bundled up.
Yeah, I wasn't thinking about standing outside for a few minutes. I didn't even bring a coat. So
here we go. We're going live on air again. News Talk 830 WCCO. Appreciate you joining us. And it's 612-294-6949. How you can join us by phone or text. Good morning. Welcome to the Minnesota Real Estate Show. Thanks for tuning in and thanks for joining us here. We're live at CCO every Saturday morning for the Minnesota Real Estate Show. This is a local real estate show. It's interactive. We welcome your questions, comments, thoughts. You can use the normal CCO talk and text line, of course, or we also have a number that comes direct to us during the show. And then when we're not on the show, it also comes to us as well. It's 612-294-6949, 612-294-6949. Phone or text is how you can join us. And this is a show, again, hosted by Mike Overson of Luminate Home Loans, Scott Wolmering, and myself, Ryan O'Neill of the Minnesota Real Estate Team, REMAX Advantage Plus. Thanks for being here. And Scott, good morning to you, bud.
Yeah, good to be here. Appreciate everybody tuning in. If this is the first time you've caught the show, welcome. If you are a return visitor, we appreciate you coming back. Like Ryan said, this is everything in real estate as it relates to the Twin Cities. Kind of what's going on now, what we think is going to happen here in the next few months, and what you can kind of bank on coming into the spring market, depending on where you're at in your real estate journey. If you've not checked us out at mnrealestateshow.com, do that. You can find out everything about our team, everything about all of our great preferred partners, from attorneys down to home inspectors, really anything that you could use as a homeowner. They're there, they're vetted, they're incredibly good. And then also maybe, Ryan, tell them how they can find out what their home is worth. It's a new feature we've got there.
Yeah, again, so it's mnrealestateshow.com. On the top of the website, you can click on What is My Home Worth? It's a newer tool that we have for existing homeowners. Maybe you've owned your home for a year, 5, 40 years, just wondering, hey, what is my home worth in this market? There's no obligation to do anything at all. It's just a kind of a thank you we provide to the CCO listeners. and it uses a lot of the latest technology as well to our kind of our local market knowledge to help you determine what the value of your property is. So again, if you go to mnrealestateshow.com, there you can find that. First segment of the show, we always do like to talk a little bit of a market update, guys, and some numbers to share. We know we always love numbers. Scott, you love your numbers.
I love numbers.
Numbers, it is. So new listings, so new homes for sale in the Twin Cities down almost 9%. There were 1,187 new homes for sale. Pending or accepted purchase agreements down 6.3%. So there were a total of 800 pending sales. Overall inventory is down almost 8%. There are 8,813 homes for sale right now. Interestingly, again, the median sales price year over year actually still increased, went up 2.4%, 371,000. But one other stat, maybe, and you can comment on this, Scott. They talked about there's a national company called Atom, not like Adam
Not like
Hartung.
Hartung, yeah.
Yeah, ATTOM. But their third quarter report of U.S. home affordability, the median price single family homes and condos, were obviously less affordable compared to historical averages in 99% of the counties nationwide in the third quarter. Affordability is an option. We're going to talk about interest rates here, but that's a big issue right now.
Well, yeah, I mean, more than interest rates, affordability is what drives the market. I mean, this is kind of one thing that I thought was really interesting. I saw a statistic about homes in 2000 compared to homes in 2023 across the country. So since 2000, our homes in Minnesota, and this isn't just the Twin Cities, this was a Minnesota thing, have gone up 325% in that 20-year period. And just to kind of put that in context, a teacher in 1999 or 2000 made on average $60,000 a year. The average home sale at that time, this is Twin Cities, was $124,000. So that was back 23 years ago. So $60,000 for a teacher, average home sale is $124,000. Now the average salary for a teacher is $65,000. So they've got a $5,000 raise in 23 years. And the average home price now is about 400-ish thousand. I can't remember the exact dollar. So think about that. You've got a $5,000 raise in 23 years, but your home has quadrupled in price. Then you throw on top of that an 8.5% rate. And that's why we've got people kind of freaking out. You can't go back to, I was in the 80s and interest rates were 19%, 18% and blah, blah, blah. Because the difference now is you're not paying $80,000 for a home. You're paying $450,000 for a home. And that's why people are feeling the pain right now.
Yeah, again, mortgage rates. So again, just a mortgage rate update. Again, a lot of the news articles you're seeing that people have not seen these rates in 20 years, with again rates in the 8s now in many cases, and so it's causing people to many buyers that are out there in the market are maybe looking at properties and not moving as quickly. Deciding, hey, do we want to do we want to pause? Do we want to make a lower offer? We're seeing some negotiation on listings.
Yeah, I mean it's almost, it's not even a regular market. You got to remember, guys, you got to keep in perspective. This is still the second best sellers market that we've ever seen. So I mean, we got so used to, hey, 2.6% rates, put a house in the market, you get 50 offers on it, 50 grand over. Blah, blah, blah. That's gone away, but it's still a very, very, very good market. And so the question that we talk about each week now over the last few weeks is, okay, rates are at 8.25. They were at 3% a year and a half ago. I'd be crazy to buy a house. No, actually right now, in the next 3 months, if you're a buyer, it is an exceptionally great time to buy because there is a little blood in the water. I mean, prices are settling down. They are in some cases coming back to earth. And so if you look at the difference in payment from what you would have paid at 3% to what you're going to pay now, but you're also paying what the house is worth. You're not buying a rate. And I won't go into it a lot, but average split level in Lakeville, the first quarter of 2022 was about 4.25, and now it's about 360. So you're actually paying the value of the house now. Where you were buying a rate a year and a half.
Sure. Yeah, really good points. Again, you can join us 612-294-6949 at any point. Our team does monthly seminars, investment property seminars, first-time homebuyer seminars. We're big on education. So with our team all throughout the Twin Cities, all throughout Minnesota and Western Wisconsin, we, again, work with buyers, sellers, investors, really all areas and price ranges. Scott, I know you're talking to a seller up in Circle Pines. Very nice property, $1 million plus property. And so there are a lot of unique things we do as a team that we will talk about from time to time on the show itself. But we're up against our first break here again. 612-294-6949 is how you can join us at any point. We've got our friend Adam Hartung, Midwest Money Management, coming up in a little bit with an exciting opportunity, actually a job opportunity for his company, wonderful firm in Lakeville, Minnesota. So perhaps you've got a family member, friend, neighbor, son or daughter, or yourself looking for a great position. Adam's going to be talking about that here in a little bit. This is the Minnesota Real Estate Show on News Talk 830 WCCO. Thanks for joining us on social media, Adam.
Yeah.
Good to see you, bud. What do you
It's good
got
to see
for
you
us? What do you got for us?
Well, what do you want me to talk about at the moment?
How are things? Excited about? Well, tell people, give them a little preview about the job.
Yeah. So our one of our team members is retiring. She's worked with us for over 15 years. So it's the first time that I've had somebody leave the team like this. And so we are going to be looking for a new person, but we're a small company. We're an 8-person team. And so our people are everything to me. I think this is a somewhat unique opportunity in the sense that it is a career position for the right person. And it doesn't require any specific training. So, I mean, this could be a college graduate. It could be a high school graduate with the right attitude. It could be a stay-at-home mom who's been out of the workplace and wants to come back in.
Or a stay-at-home dad.
Or a stay-at-home dad.
Yes.
Dad, thank you for.
I've heard they do. I heard they do.
Yeah,
well.
thank you for pointing that out. That's absolutely.
Good morning, Ashley, Bill. Thank you. Thanks for joining us too. We appreciate it.
Sorry, but yeah. Really, we're just looking for the right person who has the right attitude. If you hate talking to people, this is probably not going to be a job for you because it does involve a lot of talking on the phone, greeting people. The client relations coordinator, which this position is kind of the face and the voice of our company. I mean, that's really who they are. They're the first person that answers the phone, typically greets people. But if you're someone that's hardworking and really enjoys making a difference in people's lives, and enjoys working on a small team environment where, we really a lot of times operate more like a family than a work team. I mean, that's really the reality, which is why it's so important.
Scott doesn't like his family
right person for that position.
No, I was just
not a dysfunctional family.
No,
that's
not
what
a
we're trying to
dysfunctional
prevent.
I was just thinking, Ryan and I are more like a family too.
So what else do you have? I'm kidding.
Yeah.
Adam loves that. He's like, so what do you want me to talk about? I do want to, it's interesting, guys. They were talking about new construction homes are at a 19-month high.
Oh, yeah.
Isn't that interesting?
That's
19-month
that's
high.
good, isn't it?
Well,
I mean, because we need supply.
Well, you know why?
Builder buy downs.
Sure, yeah, because if you're buying new construction, you're going to be paying a rate between 4.5% to 5.5%.
So the
'Cause
builders,
the
buying
builders
it.
are all buying the rates down, and so if you're out there looking for something that's affordable, new construction has that flexibility to be able to do it.
But can the builders do that any cheaper than you can do that on your own?
No, but
because
it's like-
otherwise they're just building into the price of the house.
Well, of course they are. It's like that's like anything else. I mean, there's a little bit of a discount there because, of course, they're taking a haircut. Because
Sure.
But you're paying a
Tighten
premium
it up.
on a new house.
But
So
you're-
to
but
me,
you're paying a premium. But people love new construction. They
People
love
do
new
love new
construction. They love 5.5% rates.
They love new construction.
but listeners should know that that's a bit of an illusion. I mean, this idea that you're actually getting a better rate, you can get a better rate on an existing home too if you're willing to buy down the rate.
Sure.
Well, it's like every industry. I get a kick out of people when they go buy a new car. They're like, "Oh, I got the best deal on the car." I'm like, "No, you got exactly the deal that
The dealer wanted to give to you.
wanted to give to you. it's the same it's the same in real estate. It's like, the money's coming from somewhere.
Right. That was my
Yeah.
point.
Yeah, the money's coming from somewhere. Maybe from Midwest money.
Maybe from
Hey,
the
there you go.
Hey, we're getting ready to go live on air. Thanks for joining us here at WCCO. The studio, some people have asked us, where is it? It's downtown Minneapolis. So we're actually downtown Minneapolis right here. And we're getting ready to go live back on air on, again, News Talk 830. Thanks for joining in, everybody. Hey, welcome back to the second segment of the Minnesota Real Estate Show. We are local. We are live here in at the CCO studio, downtown Minneapolis, just talking about new construction surging to 19-month highs. And they're talking, in other words, the sales of new construction homes. What we were just talking about during the break on our social media stream is the interest rate buy down builders are doing to incent people to buy new construction. So again, low inventory of regular homes, incentives by builders to get the rate down into the fives. People love new construction, Scott. So we're seeing a lot of people buy it.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's been a definite surge that way. When Ryan says a buy down, what that means is, so let's just say rates are at 8%, and if you go and you build with a builder, they're going to buy that rate down to, let's say, 5.5%.
Often, not always.
Not always, but for the most part, most builders have jumped on board right now. So you're looking at being able to get a 5.5% rate, and what you have to ask yourself, of course, is, oh, that's magical. How did the builder come up with that 5.5%?
It's very nice.
Yeah, it's very nice. Like anything else, obviously there's some of that money is rolled into the price of that house. So if you're buying a rate down from 8% to 5.5%, that probably is going to cost, I don't have Mike Overson here in studio, but let's call it $25,000. So that $25,000 has to come from somewhere. Normally, a portion of that is going to be rolled into it. Now, obviously, the builders are making a little bit less now because things have tightened up. So, let's say 25,000 is going to be rolled into the house to buy that rate down. Let's call it, maybe it's 17. The builder takes a little bit of a hit. You guys take a little bit of a hit, but you get a payment that's affordable.
Yeah, so it is an interesting time, a really interesting market out there. I encourage you, again, listeners, you're just casually following the real estate market. You're picking up the show for the first time. We are really strong proponents. We have been for 20 years of doing this show locally, of hiring a top real estate agent to help you through the process. What we're seeing now with, again, the market, the closed sales, guys, is down 20% in the Twin Cities. So 20% less closed deals. That means less loans for the mortgage people, less transactions for all the real estate people, less title business, less home, everything. So what's happening is people are leaving the industry. And in the process, however, we are noticing that from a customer perspective, they're valuing that expertise of the person that does this full time, that has been in the industry, for a while, that has seen good markets and bad markets. Scott, we've seen lots of good markets and bad markets.
We've seen it all.
And people keep, the funny thing is people keep transacting. A lot of people think in Minnesota that there's like, oh my gosh, it's November, nothing's going to happen. I mean, we can look with our team, the Minnesota real estate team. There's a lot of files still closing in November, December, January, February. Stuff happens still, but you as a real estate professional.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I mean, if I told you the amount of times through the years where I've gone in and looked at a home where the seller is just upside down on the property, and I'm like, what in the world's going on? 99 times out of 100, they bought it for sale by owner. They bought it without representation from an agent, or vice versa. You go out to a house and you're going to list it, and you again look at it and you go, the numbers are so upside down here, and then you find out that the house was on the market for 400. Your buyer went in and bought it without representation, but they got it for 300, and they think, my God, I got an incredible deal. I got $100,000 off. Problem is, the house is only worth 250.
Right.
So it's like you definitely there's no cost to be represented by an agent. The seller pays commissions. So by all means, on the buying side for sure, and on the selling side, make sure you're represented so you protect yourself. It's a big number. These are big numbers with lots of money involved, and it does not make sense to drive your car with your feet, like my dad used to always say.
Drive your car with you.
You could do it, but it's not a good idea.
Oh, it is. Yeah, very interesting. Very interesting. We had a nice comment here from Eric on social media. Eric Allestad said, I met with a good local builder this week. He said the buy down to get in the fives is literally as much as up to 9 points. So, in other words, paying 9 points. And yes, it is absolutely added to the price of the home.
Sure.
So that it's a really good point. Thank you for the comment, Eric. And I think people just sometimes forget that there is no free lunch. It's just funny. We talked a little bit last week about psychology during COVID, when prices really were, you're competing with so many people. You want to buy, everybody's buying. And now when you have a little less competition, you can get a much better price you'll be thankful for. Dennis and I were talking before the show. We bought our home at a time when there was, again, multiple offers. We probably overpaid, frankly. We're happy we lived there. But again, sometimes as a homeowner, you don't think about, how am I going to feel 10 years down the road for what I paid for that? And we're in a market now where you can negotiate. Again,
Sure.
you can find opportunities. Don't be scared by it.
Yeah, I mean, I totally agree. I mean, we were talking earlier about markets, and that we have kind of been through every market. I mean, if we go back to, I got in the business in 1998. Interest rates were kind of right around where they're at right now, and it was it was a good time to get in the market. There were equal amount of buyers, equal amount of sellers. Then we went into 2007 through 2012. We all lived through that market. The difference then was, instead of 7,000 homes, we had 35,000 homes. And instead of getting 25 showings in 4 days and getting 10 offers like we did last year, you'd get 1 or 2 showings over every 6 months. So there are struggles in every market that you're in. Again, I can't reiterate, and if you've watched the show or listened to the show for as many years as we've done it, you would learn to listen to these things, because back in 2007, we were saying, look, if you have the ability to buy everything you can possibly buy.
Yeah.
And people at that time were like, well, why would I do that? It's a horrible market. No, it's a horrible market if you're selling, but if you're buying, I've used this example before, but I sold an investor 12 townhomes for $45,000 to $55,000. They're now all worth 300. So, you could, if there were 50 of them, you should have bought all 50 of them. And so every market has their thing right now. We've had a jump in interest rates that I've never seen. I don't think you have either, right? Where all of a sudden you're at 3%, and then within a year you're at 8.5%. I mean, that's crazy. So everything's got its little blips. This is a big blip.
Yeah. Again, we're at the halfway point. Want to encourage you after the break. Be sure to tune in. We've got a wonderful friend who's going to be joining us. Longtime partner Adam Hartung with Midwest Money Management. We're going to be talking about an opportunity he has within his team and staff, a job, an employment opportunity that he's going to be discussing. A lot to talk about with the market. Again, you can join us by phone or text. 612-294-6949 is how you can join us here at the Minnesota Real Estate Show. 612-294-6949, or on social media. If you want to see Scott Wolmering in real life, anywhere on social media, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, you name it. You're welcome to join us there too. This is the Minnesota Real Estate Show on News Talk 830 WCCO. Thanks for joining us. So many folks. Adam, you bought new construction.
I did, and I wanted to say, and I assume you guys would agree with this. I bet on new construction is sometimes where somebody doesn't necessarily get their own agent. But I would reinforce the idea that you should have your own agent, even new construction. We've done that twice, Scott, where you were our agent.
Yep.
And the amount of even just confidence that you get, because it is a big decision. It is a lot of money, and it's hard not to be emotional as a buyer or a seller.
Right.
And I think a good agent that you really trust, one of the most valuable things that you get is just that sense of confidence that you're doing the right things and keeping you from making emotional decisions.
Well, yeah. So the worst words in real estate from a buying standpoint is, well, we don't need that. buyers, and that's why you should have an agent in there. With new construction, it's nothing more than a third opinion. For example, and I've talked about this on the show before, my in-laws built a very expensive Rambler back in the day. And they had one sink in their master.
Yeah.
Because they were like, we don't need two sinks. And I said, it's going to kill you at resale. And they're like, we don't need it. I mean, we're fine with sharing it. When we put that home on the market, we had 40 showings. Every single feedback was there was only one sink in the master. And
Sure.
the way they had done it, you couldn't expand it. So you were stuck with one sink. And that little decision probably cost them $50,000 in resale.
Sure.
Because you've eliminated so much of the market that is not going to touch that house because you only have one sink in the master bedroom. And at that time, back in 2002, it was a $700,000 house. So those little mistakes can really, really, really cost you. But, we're human. So we think in terms of the way that we think is the way that everybody else thinks. Well, actually, the way that we think is only about 25%
Sure.
of the way everybody else thinks.
Sure. If
So
that even.
If that. So if you're not broadening your scope, you have the really the ability of eliminating 75-ish% of the market. You don't want to do that in real estate.
I know this isn't on your agenda, but with the higher interest rates, one of the positives are more people are actually putting money into like money markets and other accounts, banks where they're getting like 5% on it.
Yes, you can absolutely get 5%, maybe a little more, a little less on true savings accounts now.
Wow.
That's
Yeah,
crazy.
That's crazy.
Yep.
And so talk me through that. What is the bank doing with that money? So bank's getting it at 5 and then just lending it out at 8?
Yes. Yeah. That is essentially that's exactly right.
Okay.
Yep. So as interest rates rise on everything, as the banks can lend out money at higher rates at your 8.5% mortgage rate, now they can pay 5% on deposits to have the ability to lend that money back out.
Very interesting. You think about that. I see a lot of advertisements now. Actually, our partner on the show, Luminate Bank, they're, I think, high 4s, 5s that they're paying.
Yep.
Be sure to pull them up. Wonderful guys, wonderful partner. Check out Luminate Bank. They're local here as well. I know Mike and his group, they have that as well. That's a nice option.
Yeah. No. Yeah. If you still have any significant amount of savings that's in a savings deposit that is still paying, sub 1%, because they're still out there. This has happened so fast that, the banks don't have to kind of change everything. And so you need to really look at that.
We're going back live. News Talk 830 WCCO. Hey, welcome back to the second act of the Minnesota Real Estate Show. Appreciate you listening to us here every Saturday morning, 10 to 11. We talk all things real estate, mortgage. Excited to welcome on our friend right now, Mr. Adam Hartung, and this is his disclosure. Adam Hartung is a certified financial planner professional and an accredited investment fiduciary. He's the president and founder of Midwest Money Management, located at 17316 Kenyon Avenue in Lakeville, Minnesota. Securities offered through JW Cole Financial Inc., member FINRA and SIPC. Advisory services offered through JW Cole Advisors Inc., Midwest Money Management, and JW Cole Financial and JW Cole Advisors are unaffiliated entities. Adam is a longtime partner with us. All of our partners are at mnrealestateshow.com. You may say, what's the deal? This is a real estate show. Why do you have a guy like this on? Adam is a great financial guru advisor, he and his team, to help you with all things related to the dollar. This gentleman helped me get into real estate investing back in 2001. And so over the last 2 years of being a landlord, Adam was really a strong impetus for helping me get into investing. But specifically today, Adam and his company have an exciting opportunity. Adam, good morning to you and welcome to our show.
Yeah. Hey, Ryan, thanks for having me on today. As you mentioned, we, someone on our team that's been with me for over 15 years now is retiring in January. So we are right now looking for a new team member. And I do think it is a great opportunity for the right person because, there's no past experience required. Now, if somebody has experience in the financial services world or customer service, that's awesome, obviously. But I mean, this position could literally be a high school graduate, a college graduate, someone that's been out of the workforce for a while and trying to come back. What we're really going to be hiring for is the right attitude and the right person. I mean, we can teach them everything they need to know. So, I'm looking for someone that is hardworking, willing to learn what they need to know, and really wants to work extra hard to go the extra mile to make people's lives better, because everybody on my team right now is so committed to making the lives of our clients easier and better. And that's what I'm looking for. Someone that just has that spirit that they want to serve other people. And for that person, it's a great opportunity. And we are not looking for someone that's necessarily just looking to be with the company for a couple of years. I mean, obviously, I'm not saying that if you work for us, you have to stay there. But my goal is to find somebody that wants to grow with our company and have a career opportunity. And we are an 8-person team, so we're still a small team, but we are also a fast-growing company. And so I do see multiple opportunities down the road for someone that's on our team and for the right person. So,
Well, yeah, I mean, when I think about it, if I couldn't work for me, I would want to work for you.
I appreciate that.
So, I mean, no, seriously though, all joking aside, if you are listening and you're thinking, well, that sounds like a good opportunity, I can tell you this: I've known Adam personally as a friend and business for 30 years, whatever it's been, and you would be nuts not to take an opportunity to be able to work with this man. Besides the fact that it would be a great job, you will learn a lot. He's a great guy, so yeah, I would do it.
I appreciate that, Scott. One of the things listeners should know, we are located in Lakeville, and there is no remote option for this job. I know WCCO has a pretty wide geographic spread. So, if you're too far from Lakeville to be in the office every day, that it won't work. This position definitely has to be in office.
Adam, what does the position pay, and any benefits, that type of thing?
Yeah, so the starting salary range is 45 to 55,000, depending on the applicant.
I'll take the 55.
All right, I thought you would. Plus semi-annual bonuses, so there are bonuses on top of that. We have medical benefits and retirement benefits with a company match. So it is again, it's I think a great starting position for somebody or for the right opportunity.
Well, and that position, you run your business similar to mine, and I know Ryan thinks the same thing. That key position, that entry position that everybody comes in contact with. It's my Sarah, Ryan's Jalen. It is the face of your company. So it is not a minuscule position. It is the position.
I totally agree with you. And we value the person that does that right now. This is our client relations coordinator position. And we do have a client relations coordinator right now. The person that's actually retiring is our operations manager. But what we're doing is we are actually eliminating the operations manager position, and we are going to have 2 client relations coordinators. So the 2 of them will share the position. They'll work together as a small team so that we have backup. But we value that position a lot. I mean, I tell somebody when I say it's a career opportunity, whether you want to grow into another position in our firm, or if you want to stay as the client relations coordinator for the rest of your life, if you do a good job at it, I mean, it's something where there's almost unlimited potential. I mean, I would pay somewhere down the road 6 figures for this position,
for sure,
if it was the right person who's really adding value to our clients' lives.
Yeah, I just wanted to comment again, from knowing Adam a really long time, knowing his entire team, they're just a really tight-knit group of people, wonderful group of people, customer service focused and oriented. And again, just I've referred my family, friends, lots of people to Adam over the years. I think one thing too, if you're listening, you may think, well, hey, I don't have a lot of money. This is not something I could ever even think about working with a guy like this. The nice thing about Adam is he treats everybody the same way, whether you are you got
zillionaire,
you got millions in the bank. It is, and I think people can feel that in the appointments, in the consultations, and I think it's also very unique for an industry, obviously, that they make money for people that probably have more money. So, Adam, that you do a really nice job with that, and again, your team, just a great opportunity. Be sure, how can people connect with this? Reach out to you, if they have interest.
Yeah. So if someone has interest either in the job opportunity or as a potential client, just to sit down with our firm on our website, which is midwestmoneymanagement.com. For the job opportunity, it's the second thing down. There's a video at the top of the website. Right beneath that, it says join our team. And there's a link that you can click on that has all the details of the job, the responsibilities, and an email that you can send your resume to get in touch with us if you're interested in being interviewed. And as a client, same thing. You can go to our website. There's a contact us button, or in either case, you can call our office at 651-204-3000. Again, that number, if you're interested in the job opportunity or as a client, is 651-204-3000.
One thing I wanted to mention, Adam, too, just from a real estate standpoint, again, interest rates are in the 8s now. A lot of we all feel it. The inflation going on, rising cost at the pump, the grocery store, really everywhere. With your kind of knowledge and background of money and the markets, what are you seeing here for Minnesota, for the United States, kind of just on a macro level? What we're experiencing and feeling. I saw an article this week that talked about growth was up like 3% or something, which for me, it just seems hard to, it's hard for me to understand because everybody I'm talking to, or a lot of people are feeling a pinch and not feeling like things are rosy. So what are you seeing and any thoughts or advice for people?
So are you asking specifically kind of the market as a whole, not just the real estate market? I think when we go back to we look at the COVID lockdowns, the Federal Reserve printed $4 trillion and the federal government through fiscal stimulus programs gave out trillions of dollars. We had all these people that were unemployed during the lockdowns, but if you look at how much there was in lost wages, and you compare that to how much stimulus the government literally just gave to people, we gave out 2.5 times more money than was lost in wages. So even though people were out of work, they had more money in some cases than they'd ever had. The U.S. populace as a whole had at one point $2.3 trillion in excess savings because it was just given to them by the government. And we've still been spending that. So we have this dichotomy that, yes, I think things should be slowing down. There's all these problems. We've got inflation. And yet, because the consumer is 70% of the economy and because they had all this excess savings, that's been propping everything up. Well, the fact is that money is now running out. We are finally getting to the point where the lower, it depends on your income group. The higher income people still have excess savings. The lower income portion has, in the last month or so, run out of that excess savings. And all of it's going to be gone probably in the next couple of months. So I am really concerned that as we see that excess savings dissipate, that the economy is not going to look nearly as strong as it even does right now.
And just real quick before the break, investment markets, how has this year been? I know last year was just not good. How has this year been?
Yeah, well, the year started off great, actually. The stock market was up significantly on July 31st, but July 31st was the peak of the market, the stock market I'm talking about now. And it has come down over 10% since the peak. And we're getting back to the point, we're still in positive territory for the year, but we're getting much closer to being back to negative. And bonds, which got slaughtered last year because of the rapidly rising interest rates, are also negative for the year. So this is the second year in a row that anybody that was a bond investor, which is, again, typically going to be thought of as your more conservative part of a portfolio, has really gotten hurt.
Again, we're up against the final break here at the Minnesota Real Estate Show, talking to Adam Hartung, Midwest Money Management. Be sure to check out again the website, mnrealestateshow.com. You'll find Adam and his entire team, that awesome job opportunity. Adam, awesome job today, buddy. We're grateful for you and all that you do.
Thanks, Ryan. I appreciate it.
Yeah, again, Adam Hartung. This is the Minnesota Real Estate Show. Again, we're on News Talk 830 WCCO. Really good stuff, Adam. I don't know. I saw that article in the paper talking about growth, and I'm like, where growth for who?
I really think so much of this is artificial, and that's my concern. And I think once all that excess savings is gone, I don't see how this can continue the way that it is. I didn't get to say this on the radio, but talking about that stocks have been falling, bonds are also falling. As a reminder for those of you that have heard me before, or for those of you that have never heard me, our investment approach in this is to move to cash when assets are falling. So right now, our tactical stock model is 77% in cash, and our bond model is about 80% in cash. So we have very little exposure to those assets that are losing money right now. And the one good thing about the higher interest rates that we've talked about is a year ago when we moved to cash to try and protect clients, we were getting 0.15% to hold that cash. Today, we are getting 5.28%. So when I say we're 77 or 80% in cash, it doesn't mean we're getting nothing. I mean, we're at least getting 5% just to sit there and protect the assets. And the whole goal is to look for a better buying opportunity, because if I'm right about what's happening with the excess savings, and if that does cause a deeper recession and a big sell-off in assets, which I think is entirely possible, I'm not trying to say for sure that's going to happen, but I think it's possible. We're going to be sitting with cash on the sideline, and we're going to look for a better opportunity to buy on the other side, because that's what creates opportunities like you talk about, Scott, in the housing market.
Yeah, interesting time. So moving forward, it's an election year next year. Everyone's talking what's going to happen with mortgage rates in an election year. You would think, again, just from
they'll go down.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, I think it would be very hard for the incumbent to win with rates in the 8. I mean, you see it all over Twitter and everywhere, how people are lamenting that the rates.
So let me give the counter argument to that. And this is kind of like we talk about with the housing market. Higher rates on houses hold prices down, and yet low supply is what's holding houses up. So it's kind of like this fight between two things. Same thing here on interest rates. Yes, I think the economy is going to be doing worse. I think the market's going to be doing worse. It's an election year. There's all these reasons to bring rates down. And yet inflation, I think, is going to be significantly more persistent than anybody thinks. And with high inflation numbers, it is going to be really difficult to bring down rates. I mean, that is just a fact.
Yeah, I just look at it. I mean, I don't trust the system, obviously.
I don't either.
So I look at it as this way. You can't get reelected with rates at 8.5%, because a college student coming out of college cannot buy a house.
Yeah.
A 25-year-old that bought a townhome that's only got 20 grand in their pocket and they want to step up, for the most part, really can't afford to do it. So I definitely think that somehow the pressure to get it reasonable, so that people are just like, oh my God, I mean, I'm not voting for this guy that's in office right now because I can't buy a house.
Or credit card that I was reading about. Credit card rates are the highest they've ever been. Credit card rates, and you just think of, again, student loan debt, credit card debt that we all have. It just it's hard, guys.
Oh yeah, one of the kids' credit cards that was at like 17% is now at like 30%.
I was going to say 30.
So
I've seen 30.
Their payment was like 200, and now it's like 500.
How is that legal? That's just wrong.
It should be usury.
Yeah, that's just wrong. You think about that. I mean,
it's crazy.
Yeah, how do you catch up? I was talking to a friend this week about her car loan, and it's the same type of thing, and not being able to catch up.
So I will say this. Back in the day, back when credit card rates, back in the 2000s, we used to do a lot of that at our firm, is help people with getting that under control. We haven't done that much in the last 10 years because it hasn't been an issue, but our company can help people with that. I mean, it's not a magic thing, and sometimes there's pain involved, but I mean, I do think we'll end up doing that more.
Yeah, we're coming back onto the last segment here. Appreciate you joining us. It's been a fun, lively discussion today. We're on WCCO. Hey, welcome back to our final segment. Thank you for joining us. I want to give a shout out to a listing we've got, Scott. This is Rodolfo Trujillo. Rodolfo is just a wonderful guy, an outstanding agent, broker with the Minnesota real estate team and RE/MAX Advantage Plus. He's got one in Wayzata, Scott, 15110 Woodruff Lane in Wayzata, listed for $749,900. It is a very private neighborhood, a cul-de-sac location. It's got beautiful views from your deck, lower level patio, formal dining, a great kitchen with double ovens, 5-bed, 4-bath, 3-car garage. And Rodolfo says it's only a few minutes from downtown Wayzata. Easy access to highways, shopping, and entertainment. Be sure to check that out, 15110 Woodruff Lane in Wayzata. And a special note of sending well wishes and prayers to Rodolfo. I know he's actually flying back home today. His father is not doing well. So
Oh, no.
his dad's not doing well. So we're thinking of you, RT, and sending lots of love and prayers to you and to your father as well for hopefully a full and quick recovery.
I think there's an open house on that today.
Yeah, you know what? Thank you, Scott. You're right. There is an open here today as well. It's from 12 to 2. So Saturday the 28th, 12 to 2, and then Sunday from 12 to 2 as well. So that'll be great. RT's just a great guy. And but it's been a fun discussion today. A lot we've been talking about. Adam Hartung has brought a lot of really good points to us, talking kind of big picture on money in the markets and what we're going to see moving forward, Scott. That's the big question. But I come back to the pause. A lot of buyers are pausing, and I understand it's human nature to do that with the rate where it is. But people are forgetting the prices. They're forgetting that price piece, and I think as a buyer, you forget that when you own. I wish I could go back in time and not pay what we did for our house. Um, you know, but you don't think about that
No.
until you've been in it a year or 2 or 5, and you're like, "Oh my gosh, I bought during a really frenetic time," versus now where you can negotiate and get some deals.
That's right. And and we've talked about this time and time again. The difference in value of what you were doing when you were buying that 2.6 rate, which feels good because of a payment. So let's look at it this way. Let's call it 3% and 8%. And so let's just go crazy and say you're paying $300 more on a payment than you are right now for the house than you would have a year ago. So why would I do that? But you're also paying $50,000 to $60,000 less for the house, so you're actually paying the value of the house. So it costs you $300 a month more, and let's say that takes a year before rates come down to 5% or 4.5% or 6% or whenever you refinance it. So that costs you $5,000 over a year, more money out of your pocket for payments before you refinance this, versus you bought the same house, but you paid $60,000 more for it. Your payment's lower, but now that house, that's real money. I mean,
Yeah.
when you go to sell it, that is $55,000 that you're not walking away with, which you would be if you bought a house currently.
So the other thing that I would say to people that are hesitant to buy right now is, if you think rates can't go higher than 8.5%, you're also wrong.
Correct.
I mean, they could definitely go higher from here. And I'll tell you what, we had 2 people on our team who bought a house. Trying to remember exactly when it was, but sometime in the last year or so, and interest rates had already kind of made that first move up. So they had gone up to around 5.5, and there was a question of, hey, with the interest rates now at 5.5, should I still be buying a house? And we said, yeah. I mean, if you need a place to live, if you want to buy the house, buy it. Again, you look back now and they thought 5.5 was high.
That's right.
How much better off are they now that they did that than if they had tried to do it today? I mean, a year from now, if interest rates go down and you're at 8.5, you can refinance and get the lower rate. You buy today at 8.5, and a year from now rates are 12. And
right.
Again, that could happen. You'll be glad you bought at 8.5.
Well, if rates go to 12, you'll find me at Menards. I'll be a greeter.
Yeah, it is. It's an interesting time. A lot of people have asked days on market. What are we seeing? Interesting, Scott. What do you think for $1 million home in the Twin Cities? What's the average days on market?
For $1 million home, I would say the average days on market is 42.
Yeah, it's gone up. It's 70 days.
Oh, it's 70 days.
70 days. You can look average days on market from a $500 to $1 million home, and again, it's a wide price range. It's gone up pretty significantly. Last September, these are September year-over-year numbers, 31 days. Now it's actually 46 days. So interesting. We're seeing again, little bit longer market time in a lot of areas. More importance of who you're hiring as an agent, what team, what broker, what are they doing for you marketing wise? What are they not doing for you? Are they spending money to position your home in the best light? Very important things. That's what we do as the Minnesota real estate team.
Well, and there's just, it's like any other business. There's there's little soft nuances that you do. So when your agent's reaching out to agents that have showed your home or that have interest on your home, are they verbalizing your position correctly enough to engage people in being interested in writing an offer? And anybody that's been in sales understands that you're having multiple conversations a day with people that are interested in whatever you're selling, in this case, a house. And there is a difference between who you're hiring and how those conversations goes to whether people move forward or whether they disappear.
Scott, do the Vikes beat the Pack?
They do. They beat the Pack, I think, 24-17.
Whoa!
In Green Bay. And I think that the Pack, their defense is just too beat up.
Hey, we appreciate you joining us. Scott, good job today, bud, as always. Adam Hartung, great to have Adam. Mike Overson, Luminate Home Loans. Apply with Mike. Check out Luminate Bank locally. They're offering some really fantastic savings rates as well. And again, if you're looking to buy a home, sell a home, or invest in real estate, please don't hesitate to reach out to us at the Minnesota Real Estate Team. We've got a top agent really all over the state of Minnesota and Western Wisconsin. We'd be honored to help you and your family. Enjoy the rest of the weekend. Stay warm, everybody. Take care. Great show. Fun show. Thank you. Adam, nice job, buddy.
Thanks, Ryan.
You need to come on more.
Yes.
This guy is, by the way, if you ever go to one of his presentations, great speaker. You got it dialed in, man. You are a public speaker extraordinaire.
Thank you.
Isn't he, Scott?
He is.
He is. It was fun though. Lots of stuff. Again, people we mentioned earlier, people said, "Hey, where are you guys at?" The studio is actually right downtown Minneapolis. So we're right downtown in CCO headquarters. So fun stuff. Guys, have a good weekend. Adam, you think the Vikes will win?
Yes.
Score?
I don't know. I have no prediction.
Oh, by the way, this guy's a fantasy football guru too. You want to play against a tough opponent. Mr. Adam is. So, all right, everybody, take care. Have a good weekend.